It is Wednesday, my dudes, and tonight we welcome back Work More or Less. We'll talk about how he is using new practical techniques to continue leveling up his photography skills, and we'll try to get him to break it down for us and help us as well. We'll also look at some of our favorite photos from the week, and we've got a few extra shenanigans planned, but there's nothing left but to cue that intro. That one wasn't bad. That wasn't terrible. We'll get there. We'll get there. So anyway, welcome back to Between Two Sentinels. Tonight is episode 12, right? 12? How the hell did we get to 12? Who let us go to 12? Why do we? Anyway, I of course am Jshot. J's hot. If you got your candy, 50% off this day. And with me is the one and only Matchu Toy. What's going on, man? How are you?
What's up? I did a little switcheroo with my camera, so I keep looking over there, but main cam's over here. So
main cam's over there. Okay, so camera one, camera two, camera one, camera two, camera one. Okay, all right. I'm sure we'll get back to it. I don't know what's new and exciting. I know our guest is going to join us in a little bit, so we've got some time to fill. What you got working on? What you working on? Anything?
I'm not working on anything. I mean, I was trying to switch up the setup, but like, I probably should have did that earlier. But you know, just procrastinating a little bit.
We live, we learn.
Then a bunch of
things.
figures came in this week.
But what'd you get?
Got Spiral.
Ooh. Is she as awesome as everybody's saying?
Yes, and I got this SHF Venom.
Yes, dude. You picked this up for me as well, and I've been loving him. He is
amazing.
He's pretty awesome. I don't think I've even seen the movie, but
you don't have to.
I kind of love this pointing finger. I don't know. This pointing finger is pretty awesome too. So
yeah,
very cool.
I also got another amazing Yamaguchi figure.
Oh, Nice.
Deadpool. I missed out. Nice. So I got the re-release, the 2.0. Cool. They also, I noticed that they changed their packaging. It's now plastic free.
Oh, so also another one plastic free. Yeah. Did they do a better job with the plastic free than some other companies that shall remain nameless?
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
At first I was like, did I get a knockoff? I had to text Mario.
Nice. Oh, we got some people showing up in the chat. Obviously want to say thank you to everybody who's here tonight and supporting the show. We continue to do the show. Whether you guys like it or not, we continue to do the show. But
you're gonna have to help me out with this because I had no idea how I set this camera up.
No worries.
I am blocking my chat.
Okay, no worries. I will handle the chat. So in the chat, we've got D Blake who yelled out first. Bearded Builds, of course, there in the end with the Unhinged crew. Steve Morrow hits us with comment. I guess. Cool.
Speaking of D Blake.
Oh, you got some stuff from D Blake.
Wait. Hidden.
Before you show that, I wanted to show you this. I backwashed my my bricks today.
You backwashed it?
Blackwash. Did I say backwash?
It sounded like backwash.
Yeah. Sorry, I blackwashed my bricks today. I'm not crazy about this part, but I'm gonna keep working on that. But that's the update on the bricks.
Did you blackwash that?
Yes, I did, but I'm not. Okay. I'm still not crazy with it. So. But yes, D Blake's. What did D Blake send you?
He had this hidden in a pack of weapons.
Oh, I like that. Oh, you did that, but you did that style, right? Where you like glued that on there. So that's funny. You got that from. You did the magnets, did you? Oh, what'd you use?
I do the magnets. Yeah, I just use magnets.
Gotcha.
But this is like a Street Fighter style KO.
Yeah, that's cool. Really, I like that a lot.
Really, I dig it.
That's funny. You got that from D Blake, and all I got was this sign that says Jshot or J's hot if you use these as pasties. And I mean, we want to get weird with it, we can, but guess we're getting unhinged a little early. Anyway, Realm of Toys is here. Thank you, Detour. Appreciate you showing up. Stefan Delator. We had a great show with him last week. Legendary Poster is here.
Poser,
Toy
not
Chase.
Poster.
Poser. I'm just screwing up all my words tonight. Time to fill. Who's Phil? Solid, Steve. Solid. I'll give you that one. Nice pickup. Trevor, 1-6 shooter is here. I believe Trevor's joining us next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jason said he's here, but then he jumped away. So now he's gone again. Toying around, hitting us with the hello there. Oh. Toying around. What did I tune into? This is what happens when we go late, my friend. This is what happens. So before we bring Jason in, I gotta give a couple of shout outs because I got some really cool stuff in the mail this week, and I wanted to kind of bring that up. I got this awesome book from Golden Shredder, which is just a collection of.
Let me give you full screen.
Oh yeah, go for it. It's just a collection of. Let me get rid of this here. It's just a collection of his artwork that he's done for Ninja Turtles over the years.
That's awesome.
And it's just pretty cool. Like, it's just different styles of stuff. It was really awesome. So just there's like some inspirational stuff in here, like not inspirational, like inspired by stuff. Trying to find some. There's one shot in here of like I could tie back Venom there. Hang on, here we go. A little Raphael Venom crossover.
That's awesome. Cool. Look how snappy that ZV1 is.
Yeah, that ZV1 is good. Thank you for letting me borrow that because
yeah.
I am not prepared for class as usual. And then this came in. Oh, give me one more time.
Oh,
more time. That came in from Sunty there from No Chewing. He drew that for me. It's pretty awesome. We're doing a little bit of a sketch exchange. So I got his stuff.
That's
going
awesome.
Out next week.
I guess I have to start sketching again.
Please don't. Can I be good at one thing? I just like one thing.
Okay. I mean, it's just stick figures.
And Cindy has now joined us. What's going on, Cindy? And what did you get in the mail, Matt? Wink.
But it's so freaking big. Wait, what's that? Why is there?
Oh,
what?
Someone new has entered the stream. Interesting. Go ahead. No, continue. Continue to open.
Okay.
Continue to open. All right, wait. Let me give you. How do I give you full screen on this? There we go.
Oh my god. I just see the note. I haven't seen what it is yet.
We are seeing what it is, and it is glorious, my friend.
What's happening?
And of course, our mystery guest is Bearded Builds.
Dude, this is amazing. I love this.
Happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
I know you said you didn't want to celebrate early, but I reached Jesus. Bearded, when did I reach out to you? Like January? Like
it was January.
December? Yeah. So this
I appreciate this. I really do. But you robbed me for a reason for going to Canada.
You can still come.
We have to pick up a Between Two Sentinels sign, I'm sure. So
yeah, and your birthday is in the summer, so
yeah, mine's in summer. It's fine.
You got
time.
Yeah, you got lots of time.
Yeah.
This might go in my bedroom. Or outside in the front.
Right over your bed.
Right over my bed.
That's it.
On top, so you can look at it every night.
Yeah.
So,
it's beautiful. Or on the ceiling,
man.
whatever works.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
This is amazing.
So this was all a ploy. The whole thing about going through mail, I didn't, it was all the thing. We were just trying to get here, trying to buy Bearded time to get on. All figured out, but
I love how I opened it and I saw the writing and I saw the sticker and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not even looking what it is. I think I know what it is, but this is amazing. You guys, awesome.
Bearded, I know you said you did some crazy work on this. You want to walk us through it, man? Like, this is gold, dude. And like, talk us through it.
Yeah, it was. You know what? This is probably one of the funnest projects that I've done so far. Just painting it was something that I've never done before. Like, I've never done that, kind of mashup of like two different colors like that. So it was something that I was actually having fun with it. So it was awesome, man. I just had a blast making this. Even like certain things, like even like the O on toy. Like, I had to like raise it up so that it looks like a lens on a camera.
This is amazing.
Yeah, like that, yeah. It was fun. This I had fun with this one. I kept sending Jshot pictures of it. I'm like, look, this is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm at right now. And he's like, wow.
Yeah,
like,
it was pretty hard to keep it quiet. And then I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago, I was really worried because I had sent a picture to your sister, and I was like, oh no, she's gonna screw the surprise, but she didn't. So
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. So
thank you guys.
I'm
about to lose my voice.
Yeah. Don't cry. It's all right. No crying.
Now you got to find a spot for it, man. You got to throw it up.
I do. Screw that cap shield. I'm going to put it up there.
That's what I was thinking. Screw the cap shield.
Right?
Take it down.
I got to, you know what? I think I got to move the studio. I got to move to the next room. It's bigger.
Move the studio?
Yeah.
What about all the toys? All the toys are behind you, man. It looks so good.
Oh, but I'll move it.
Oh, you'll move them all? Okay.
I'll move everything. I'll put another setup there too.
It's a whole other project, but that's
another
awesome.
6 weeks. Yeah.
So if we ever have a hiatus, that's why.
Yeah. New studio.
We're building the set.
That's it.
It's perfect.
Bearded, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you cranking that out and getting that shipped. So and we'll have to have you back on for your own time and just walk us through your stuff. I've already got 3 or 4 other prints in mind here, so we'll have to get it cranking. But yeah, dude, thank you so much, man.
No problem. My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Oh.
I'm glad he liked it. I was we were talking about it. We were like, if he doesn't like it, too bad. Screw him.
Yeah, if you didn't have the reaction we wanted, we were just gonna boot you and then we were gonna talk to Jason. So that was the plan.
I actually like what you did with the gradient of the blue and the pink.
Yeah.
I might have to update my logo because I like it better than how I did it.
I went through a bunch of different methods on how to do it. I was actually going to sort of replicate what your logo has on it now, but it was just I felt like it wasn't going to do it justice, right? Like because it was on wood and it would be like carving out those pieces and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go with something a little bit different, and I'm like, I hope it worked out. And actually, it came up. I like it. I
actually set that up and do like a tabletop shot of it, and just use that as my logo moving forward.
Oh, nice, perfect. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with that, man. I'm sure you're gonna take some crazy shots with that.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Now we can promote the hell out of it too. So.
I appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, Bearded.
No problem.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
No problem, brother. I'll let you guys get to it, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks again, man.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.
All
right, that's it for surprises. I got nothing else up my sleeve. I knew I had to stall some time, and that was it. That was my plan.
Damn.
So happy birthday, bud.
Thank you. Cheers.
You were so grumpy yesterday too.
I was.
Oh, all right. Now that he's here and there's no need to stall any longer, why don't we bring it on for the second time? Work More or Less, our good friend Jason. What's up, man?
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
I see you there. Man, I don't know how to follow that up. That was amazing.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be all right.
that bearded dude, that is beautiful. It's so clean.
Yeah.
It came out really good. I was impressed with it. I mean, I knew he did great work, but yeah, I mean, it just when it showed up, it was incredible.
That's so cool. Well, the new logo that Matt and I was working on updating his logo. I guess we'll have to scratch that. So
it's another birthday reveal. No, I'm kidding.
Bring Bearded back on. He's got the second logo.
Second logo.
Yeah.
How you guys doing, man?
Doing okay, dude. How are you?
Not too bad. It's a good start to the year, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for just what's in store. I've got some goals this year, and things are starting to just kind of get. I feel like things are like solidifying and kind of falling in place. So that's good with client work and with just all the toy photo stuff and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's been good. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. You got a lot going on. And even before we get into that, right? I just, first off, I want to say thank you for coming back, right? I mean, you were on episode 1. You're now on episode 12. Our first repeat guest. We had to do the SNL thing where if you host 3 times, you get a green jacket or something. We'll
hey, I'll come on for episode 13, and then we can
perfect
make that happen.
There you go.
Perfect. But just in case for anybody who doesn't know who you are, and if anybody's been living under a rock since since you started, you can give us a little bit of a breakdown of a little bit of intro.
Yeah, I'm Jason Young, and also known as Work More or Less. Let's see, what's a good way to just summarize it? I guess I do creative services for my day job. Actually got to work with these lovely gentlemen on a project last year. I'm hoping we can do another one. I think we say that every single time we get on the show.
We do.
But
I keep pushing for another one every single time we talk about it.
I know. I'm glad. Let's see. So do animation, motion design, branding design, illustration, all kinds of things, really. Anything that somebody will pay me for from a creative side, I'll do. And on the Work More or Less, I started that like in 2016 because I wanted to learn really how to photograph, because most of the time I was working kind of post-production, doing animation and motion graphic stuff with video that was shot with the companies I worked for, and I would just make it look pretty with all the graphics, just like your intro, right? And so I never really was, other than being on set, sometimes actually being talent, which is kind of fun, but never really understood the process of like photography. Like I understood like how to do just a point and shoot type thing, but it's really not until you actually have it in hand and you're making mistakes and learning and doing all that. That's where Work More or Less started, with toy photography, because I wanted to learn how to do photography. And it was the perfect combination, the perfect time, because that's when I started collecting Black Series and, shooting, 6-inch figures was really a lot easier than like doing weddings or portraits or things like that. So
definitely.
They don't talk back, and you can shoot for 3 hours and nobody complains. So
nobody has to chat with grandma.
Right. There are notes after. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I still get those from time to time. Yeah. Can we Photoshop this person out, or can we like take 5 different photos and merge them together? So, but yeah, it's been fun, and obviously the last since 2016, golly,
wow,
it's been quite a ride, and just getting to know so many people here in the community, so many people who showed up. It's just great to be part of it and contribute and learn from everybody, and it's great.
I mean, you've you talk about learning from everybody, and we're just we're honored to be learning from you. I mean, you've been killing it. First off, I mean, I think your first photo of the year in January, people were like, "That's it, shut it down." Photo of the year right here. And then giving us the opportunity and the pleasure to actually purchase it.
Hey, there you go.
Probably should have taken it out of the plastic before I did that, but hey, we were professional. We were a professional show. Take that. This is awesome, by the way. The mounting and the cardstock on this is
I'm pleased with
pretty awesome.
I'm pleased with the quality. I'm glad it's
cool.
Yeah, it just feels sturdy and solid.
Full screen on that. So
if you want to frame it, great. If not, you can kind of just display it as is, or put it on like a little whatever, like little picture frame, like tripod thing or whatever.
I think I'm gonna stick it right to the wall with like a 3M.
Hey, that works too.
It's awesome. But
thanks for buying, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, dude, of course.
Is it still available? I think I missed the deadline.
Yeah, it's not available, unfortunately. But
I gotta go through a scalper.
I might have a couple of artist proofs that I can find lying around. So something.
Very nice. But yeah, dude, I mean, and you did that with Pepper's Ghost. What before we kind of like jump into the individual techniques, because I mean, obviously I've got a million questions. I know Matt's got a million questions about him. What was kind of the inspiration to driving towards doing more practical effects this year?
Honestly, because I've been doing it for so long, like just shooting, I've done quite a few different styles. I mean, obviously, when I started, I was leaning really heavy into Digirama, and feel like for the most part, I'm pretty competent with doing that in different setups. And so it kind of started with that, where it's just like digital background, character, that's the shot. And then was thinking, okay, what if I make this add a little bit more depth by adding some props in the foreground or maybe in the background, and then the screen. And so it kind of evolved over time. Then I was really kind of focusing on kind of portraits, and then more conceptual kind of funny things. So it's kind of evolved. And when I started this year, I was thinking, okay, my time just keeps feeling like more limited. And so if I'm going to spend time shooting, I want to do something that's going to, one, be like a good use of my time. So I'm not just shooting just to shoot, but there's some other kind of benefit to it. So, and then 2, I really want to get into more of the teaching aspect of, photography, but also design and kind of in general, like everything that I know. Like I like helping people and teaching people. And so really I was thinking, okay, well, if I'm going to shoot, let's shoot things that I like, but then also this is a great opportunity to play around with new technique, or not necessarily new, but techniques that I'm familiar with, but maybe haven't tried out, and just see what will happen. And then taking that opportunity to teach, just kind of teach the technique and do it in a fun way, and kind of incorporate all the great IPs and things that I enjoy. So that's my goal. Moving forward, just anything I create, I want to add value for people. I want to create something that gives me enjoyment. But then also just trying to be really efficient with the time that I'm taking to do it. So
Steve comments a Work More or Less Masterclass, which Steve, I think I've been asking Jason for a few years now for that. But you started doing a pretty good job of like capturing the behind the scenes stuff and like giving us a pretty good, I mean, I remember going as far back as when you painted the Yusaki figure, right? Like you broke that down so well that I was like, oh, okay, this isn't as scary as I thought it was. Like that, like that stuff terrified me, but the way you broke it down was awesome.
I think for me too, I look at it from a perspective of how do I learn? Like, what are the videos that I'm drawn to? So like, for instance, Sideshow had a really great run of videos where they're showing how the painters would paint masters. So they get the sculptures, or, the 1/4 scale sculptures, or whatever it is, the figures, and they would go through the process from, all right, here's the print, and here's how we base coat, and here's how we do washes, and here's how we block in color, and then here's how we finish. And so like those are just beautiful. So if anybody hasn't seen those, you should check them out. They're like very well done from a production standpoint, as you guys
I've watched it.
Appreciate. But then also just the content was really good, and the artists on camera did a really good job of explaining the process, and it didn't feel like crazy or overwhelming. So I'm trying to think of, okay, what's something that I'm drawn to in terms of how I learn, or what types of videos I like in the format, and how can I just take that and, break it down. So like you said, John, it's just like, here's step 1, here's step 2. And so it's much more manageable, instead of like, all right, here's the figure before, here's the figure after.
Right.
You don't see the, 40 hours of work that goes into it. So just like breaking it down makes it more fun too, just to share. And also people ask like, how'd you do that? Like, well, instead of like saying it once, like, here, just watch the videos, and that should help out. So,
and it's not like a brand new technique. It's been around. No. You're just bringing it to the light, like a lot of people didn't know about it. So like with this one, and then the new one that you just put out too, like I didn't even know about that one with the bokeh.
Here we go.
There it is.
Is this series 2 of the print of the Work More or Less print series?
I definitely have to buy this one. I'm not missing this one.
Yep, this is number 2. So I decided, I mean, I know there's, not everybody's interested in getting the prints, but it's just kind of a nice way to, for me also, have the prints and kind of look back on it. It's kind of like a portfolio sense of sorts. And so figured out a way to be able to produce them and get them to people. I think, John, you got yours pretty quick once the first rolled around. So like, I'm just happy that I can provide that for the people who are interested. And obviously it's helpful to just help keep it up, and, all the time that it takes to do this. It's a really great way to feel like, all right, this is worth it. Not only for just, being able to get the DMs that people say, hey, this is awesome, thanks for teaching me. But, for people who actually support, it's like, man, that makes me feel really good. And it feels like I'm doing what I want to do and where I'm kind of headed in my career in a sense. And so it's nice. So yeah, that's the next one. Actually, if I haven't announced it on Instagram, but it's available on the website right now. So I was going to tell you, I was revealing that on my website, WorkMoreOrLess/learn. I also did a really extensive blog post. So anybody who's watching now can go there before I've actually announced it. And so I did a huge deep dive, a lot of new photos that kind of break down the process of like with creating your own custom bokeh. For those not familiar with this image here, let's see if it's in focus. Will it focus? Oh, come on. You let me down, bro. There we go.
There it is. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So the ha-ha is actually all in camera. And it's a really crazy technique where you can cut out a piece of paper with whatever it is you want the bokeh to turn into and put it over the lens. And then it makes that like in camera. It's wild. So
it's incredible.
I did several different tests with different shapes. And so if you go to the blog, you can see like the results are pretty crazy. So I actually cut out the word Mondo, like from Mondo Collectibles, and put that over the camera, and it actually worked. It says Mondo in every single light. It's wild.
So
it's wild.
Is there like a limit to the size or like or the detail that'll come out, or like as you were testing along?
There is some there are some things you have to consider. So for instance, like the the outer parts of the frame, sometimes the bokeh will be kind of clipped, almost like circular, will be kind of clipped off. So the more your lights that are kind of center focus or center weighted within the composition, those are going to be a little clear. Whereas they go out, they might get cropped a little bit. So yeah, there you go. If you scroll down a little bit, there's a couple examples. Here you go. So you can kind of see as you blur the image, the bokeh, how it changes.
Yeah.
And then keep going down, you can see the different examples. So showing you like the different shapes cut out.
Oh, wow.
And using the same light setup. It'll cycle here. There you go. Mondo right there.
That actually, like, you could read that. Like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I wouldn't think you'd be able to read that. That's wow.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these I just kind of cut out. Like the Mondo one, I was being kind of like pretty precise. But like the other ones, it's like the spiral is really rough, but it still does a really cool effect. So it's not perfect. It's you have to adjust it. Really what seemed to work best is having almost like fairy lights, like really small pin lights that were intense.
Right.
And then those gave you really like kind of a sharper edge to all the bokeh. So yeah, it was fun just experimenting with to see like the different results. Steve said, how far was the camera from the bokeh? So it really depends on, there's a lot of different factors that go into it, but I was probably like 8 to 10 feet away from it. You can see in behind the scenes shots here. There's a couple of different, you can kind of get a sense of like how far I was, but yeah, probably like 8 feet or something like that. So went through and actually was going to start with these figures, the DC Direct ones, and test it with the iPad, and everything was working. So like not this shot, but the next couple, you can see the ha-has like actually worked, but it's either like really haphazard. So after I kind of set this test up, I was like, all right, I want to use different figures. I want to use the Mondo ones because the sculpts are just beautiful. They look really, really great. Good expressions, decent articulation. And so set it up over kind of where I am right now, and then ended up going to where I wanted each one of those lights. I put a big piece of foam board that I painted black, and then just taped the little pixie lights along that foam board. There's some other shots like here. You can kind of see in the background of that.
Okay. And
so really it was great because I could use my iPad to view what was on the camera, what it was saying. And then I could just kind of go through and actually put the ha-ha right over it. And then I can use my iPad, walk over to where the pixie lights were, and then just look at it, adjust. Oh, I want this one to be up here. And then you can put different color tape. So I just use like gaff tape, just like it's like magenta and bright neon yellow and orange, and use that and just put it over various lights. And so the most intense ones were just the lights by themselves. And then there were some that are yellow that kind of turned orange. And then obviously the magenta turned reddish in the photo. So it's just like, it's really crazy just to kind of play with that and just see like what kind of results you would get. But had a blast. I have some other ideas for it, and hopefully I can get at least one more shot in doing the custom bokeh before I reveal March's technique. So the plan is every single month I'm doing a new technique, and it's going to have, I hope I can do everything practical, just because I think that's a little bit more interesting. So Yeah, next month is going to be cool too.
If you're going to do every month, does that mean you're going to come out with a calendar?
Maybe. I've got plans. I'm thinking about it actually. I've got a pretty cool idea. So instead of doing like a wall calendar, I'm thinking about one that's like on an easel, but it's like kind of minimal looking. And so then basically they're just like cards. So you can use them as prints individually. But at the bottom, it can have like the month dates, days of the month. And then they could just kind of stack on that little easel. So that's an exclusive right there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
We get a bunch of exclusives.
Sorry if I ruined the surprise.
No, not at all. Not at all. That was the idea. I was like, hey, that makes sense.
I want to jump back for a second because like you were showing us so you started with the iPad. Was that just to kind of get the framing right to see if it would work, and then you actually use different lights, right? You like the actual shot. Those are lights.
For the iPad, I just take it's basically like an output monitor, so I connect it wirelessly to my camera. So then once everything's set up on the camera, I can see here, and then I can walk over and then adjust the light and see what's actually happening in camera.
Okay, cool. I thought when you were showing, if you scroll up when you were doing like your
for that test, the
test, it looked like you were using the iPad just with the random lights there. Yeah. So okay, got it.
Sometimes with the tests like that, for the very beginning, I was like, okay, what's a really quick way to do this? And so I was like, well, if I get my iPad, put a little, just open up Procreate and put a couple little dots, then I can erase them, move them, and just see if it actually works. And it worked. I was like, holy crap, this is really easy. So, and then obviously got more. Yeah, it actually is. It really is. It looks wild, and you still have to do like a lot of just trial and error, depending on how you're setting up your shot anyway. But it's just, it really like blows my mind, but it's simple, and anybody can do it if you've got like a digital SLR camera. iPhones unfortunately don't work. I think some like smaller digital cameras, even if it has like a lens on it, like an attachable lens, sometimes that may not work as well. But anyway, it's all trial and error, and it was just, like I said, it was just a blast to just see the results. And
so Steve mentions, I wonder if you could use a light bright. I wonder.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anything that emits light and something that's small, you could probably even get a board, or like cardboard or something like that. Maybe probably be better if you like painted it black and then poked holes, and then you could put a light or some kind of diffuser behind it and put a big light on it. That would probably work too. Again, if you had like a screen, I tried to do it with the TV and just put a couple dots, but it wasn't as clean. So, but yeah, all kinds of ways you can create it, and it's just wild to see it actually work in camera, just like with the Pepper's Ghost technique too. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like I'm standing here looking at it, and it looks like there's like these little apparitions in the back. So
I was going to ask, because the Pepper's Ghost technique, of course, my brain goes to Disney. That reminds me of Haunted Mansion, right? Like I know that like when you go through the dining room scene, that's how they did that. But where did you find like where did the bokeh piece, the technique come from? Like where did you even find that for inspiration to try it?
For the bokeh one in particular?
Yeah.
Kind of on the blog at the very beginning, I kind of talked about it. But really, it's just, I remember years ago before I was even shooting, and I was just around a bunch of friends of mine who were photographers. They would upload stuff to Flickr, and I would just kind of browse. And that was probably the first time I saw some toy photography too, where somebody created like a little figure, and then they cut out like a tree and then put blue paper in the background and made some clouds. And it was like, oh wow, that's really cool. Never really seen that. But with Flickr, there were a lot of people, once the bokeh, like when people started understanding that you could do that and get that effect, then people were posting. And so I've just found like those heart images, I think that I posted. I saw those and I'm like, what is this? This is crazy. And so I'd seen it years ago, but I just really didn't have any, to me, there's not really any purpose other than just saying, hey, this is cool. Or when you have your Christmas tree up, and you're like, oh, I could make a little cutout Christmas trees and take a picture of the tree and get those shapes. To me, there wasn't really any real purpose to do it. But then I realized, well, you could move the lights wherever you want. So what if I did that where the lights are very intentionally set, and then I can cut out whatever shape? And I had a couple different ideas using hearts, like the Wally. I think you saw the sketch.
Yeah.
Doing Wally or Emmett from Lego Movie.
Yeah.
And then Joker, like you laughing. Because I was like, how detailed can you get? And so I was thinking, what kind of words and what are short words? And so it kind of all fell into place. And it's pretty wild. It's wild. So if anybody does want to learn, check out the blog. But then also if anybody wants to just hit me up with any kind of questions, shoot me direct messages or whatever.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because Steve being very active in the chat. Thank you for that, Steve.
Yeah.
Says he wants to try something. He's got to get his skills better. But I mean, Steve, that's what this is all about, right? Like, here's Jason to walk you through his process and try to figure it out and ask questions and like you're doing. I definitely I've had an idea in mind for the Pepper's Ghost that I want to try. Yeah. This one though, dude, is just like I literally I still, my brain does not comprehend what's happening. So until I actually do it, I don't I just feels like magic. It just feels like magic.
And it is. I mean, both of these techniques are, and that's what's so cool about it. I mean, the Pepper's Ghost technique was also used for live theater performances, like in the late 1800s. So John Pepper, I think I have it written up on the blog, but anyway, it's just crazy to think that they could actually. I mean, think about that. If you're in the theater and there's no television or anything like that,
right? And
you're getting this dramatic performance, and then it looks like there's a ghost on stage, that would just blow your mind, right? So it's definitely an old technique. And then with Haunted Mansion doing it, it's pretty cool. Adam Burke and his wife, they were actually at Disney about the time I was doing it, and I was like, hey, if you're there, can you just take a video of that so I'll give you credit, but can you just take a video of that, because I can't find anything good online. And so they did, and I included it on the blog post for that one too. But yeah, awesome. It's wild. There's so many things you can do, and so trying to figure out how to use those and bring them into toy photography has been really fun, and that challenge is what kind of keeps me going, keeps me really interested. So.
And I love the challenge of the practical effect, right? I mean, that's I'm not so good with the computers, so I mean the practical effect stuff makes me really happy and excited to try that. So yeah, nice. Man, I'm definitely want to dive into it. And now that you're mentioning, you got March's technique, and that's coming up too. So
yeah.
Tenyo says Pepper's Ghost was also used in Hogwarts, nice. The 9 3/4 platform. That's
awesome. I haven't actually been to Harry Potter World or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think also was it Rise of Resistance? I don't know how they make, there's a part where you see Rey before you jump on the ride, and she's like a hologram.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's similar. Oh, and also there's also the Spider-Man ride. They have Tom Holland, and he's, as you're waiting, I think they do something similar with that, where they project it and it looks like he's behind the desk. And all this crazy stuff's happening. That might.
It's not just project. I thought I would have assumed that was projection, but yeah, it makes sense.
It could be.
It could be. So
yeah, I don't know.
And now Disney's doing crazy stuff with holograms. I don't know if you saw that got released today. That they've released a Walt hologram that is just unbelievable. Like the way that it's come out. So
yeah, and Tupac.
And Tupac. Yep.
Coachella, I think. Yeah.
Is that how they did Tupac?
Yep. Thank you, Grumps, for showing up today. Grumps is gonna be on
Kevin's show.
Kevin's show tomorrow. Yeah. So
nice. That's right. That's right.
So all right. Do you want to give us a little tease as to what March is, or have you given us enough exclusives? Which you totally have, and I'm just being totally greedy at this point.
So obviously, these past two techniques, they're not anything new or I mean, not groundbreaking. It's already happened, right? They've been around for some of them for hundreds of years plus. This next one is very everybody probably knows what it is, but just trying to make it in line with a holiday in March. So I'll just leave it there.
Mother's Day?
A pop culture. Like a day, all these stupid days that we celebrate.
Wrong month, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's May.
But Ides of March. That's where it's we're gonna stab leadership in the back. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
So I'll give two things. It'll be pop culture related, of course.
Okay.
and there's a day specifically for this IP in March. And then 2, the technique is I guarantee everybody has seen it in one way, shape, or form. So.
Okay. All right. Well, if you figure it out, sound off in the chats. Jason will not confirm or deny if you shift.
Yeah.
So
the other thing I was like trying to figure out is, do I want to, because I really love like when people have done the same types of techniques and then I can share them in the guides.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of me is like, I really want other people to know about it, like before I announce it. But then also it's like, but if I do that, then it's kind of spoiling surprise. So maybe a couple days prior, I'll say what it is. I don't know. We'll have to see as the year goes on, but
put it on your stories.
Yeah. And then it goes away. So yeah.
True.
Just like have like a bunch of stories and then just slide it in there. So they have to go through all your stories.
All 65. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're exiting this after the 3rd one.
Yeah.
Right.
Just start sharing all your old photos of the stories and see what's hidden in there. Awesome, man. And I mean, you're doing so much more than just photography work too, right? Like, setting up the prints, but also, and I've asked permission to do this. So, but we're talking about this was all you, right? The box art here on.
So the illustrations.
The illustrations
I did for that 2-pack, and man, that was fun. It was crazy. Like this was a year and a half ago when I did that. This is the only, I've done several since then. And this is the only one that's been actually released in the wild. But there are some other ones coming up pretty soon. A couple 2-packs, and without saying too much, there's a lot of really great stuff coming soon, and it's fun to kind of be on this side of things. I know it's kind of sucks. It's like, tell us.
No, and I certainly won't push you because I don't want to. I don't want to ruin anything there, but it is like there was a lot of turtle news today. Obviously the Necker showed off the prototype for the turtle van, which looks
awesome,
incredible. A little disappointed that they pushed it back to 3rd quarter, but okay. With
that, what I think is cool is that it looks like they adjusted the spoiler, so people were getting caught up with that. And then when I saw the interview with Beebs, and Trevor was talking about they were adding lights to it.
And I don't remember today.
I don't recall that being in when they first announced it. I don't remember the lights.
No, he didn't. He showed that the front lights, front and rear lights lighting up, which is awesome. The fact that it has the split, which I don't think they ever used outside of the opening. Yeah. But we also know that because we watched it so many times.
Yeah.
And I did appreciate too the conversation. If you guys, I promise I won't stay on this too long. They mentioned that there's no consistency from episode to episode in what this truck is. So it's almost like everybody's got their own image of what it is. So it's kind of their own version of pushing it already to that. True. So it's pretty awesome. But I'm just curious, like, how did that come about? Like, I know that you've got your own design team, and or company. But I'd be curious just how that relationship started.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing is having relationships with some of the people who work there prior, like years before this even was an opportunity. So Chris Ramo, he's one of the package illustrators. He does great work. I actually talked with him on one of my live streams in like 2020, just because I was so, obviously collecting NECA at the time. And I was like, man, Chris, you're awesome. Let's chat. And so it's hard to believe that was already like a couple of years ago. But talked with him, got to kind of get to know him, from designer to designer. And so he'd been working there several years before we even chatted or got to meet. And then went to SDCC, met a couple of the other people that work there. And then Blainer Things, at the time he wasn't even working, but he introduced me to some people, and long story short, he works there now.
Mhm.
And there were a few opportunities for me to help them with some things. And so long story short, sorry, I could keep going and going.
Okay.
I got to say long story short more than once. That's pretty silly. And so basically I ended up, when they released the Usagi, just the 3D render, and it was like a grayscale. I was like,
Yes.
it'd be fun. I'm excited for this figure, 1. And 2, it'd be fun to just take that grayscale figure and just in Photoshop, just color it in like how I would imagine it would look in kind of the NECA style. So I did that just for fun and posted it. And a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And
Really
took it a step further. I was like, so if this was actually a single pack or a 2-pack, what would the illustration look like? And so I kind of was messing around with that. And Blaine was like, dude, I think he and Chris, they were like, and other people actually who don't even work at NECA, they kind of told Trevor and Randy and whoever else, I'm not sure exactly. They're like, hey, check this out. This is pretty cool. And so then I got an email just saying, hey, we've got some illustration that needs to be done. And if you're available, let's chat. And, it kind of has been going from there. I've been doing it for the last year and a half, I think. So all kinds of really, really sweet, awesome characters. I mean, you would think that we're getting so like, shoot, these guys, these are pretty like tertiary characters.
Yeah.
But there's way more to come, and it's getting really creative. If you've seen any of the interviews, there's a lot of new stuff coming, new reveals, and some really awesome things I'm actually able to work on. So that's about as much as I can say, but it's really fun being part of the process. And the great thing about NECA is they credit the artists on the box, on the bottom of the box, which is amazing. I wish all companies could do that. I guess would do that. But seeing my name on the box, like that's just like, dude, that's cool. This is already a line I've been collecting since day one.
Right.
So being able to be on the line is just been really crazy. So
it's getting to be a part of the fandom, which is just awesome.
Yeah.
And I love the reveals that they've done, right? Like you're talking about tertiary characters, right? Like getting the rest of the gang, right? The rest of Bebop and Rocksteady's gang in there with Big Red or Jersey Red. That they look awesome. I love the way they do cartoon people. I mean, even the way the release of the Channel 6 set, like that was the way that the new styles are just incredible.
The other cool thing is like if anybody's kind of looked at all the different figures, it's like the perfect example of how you reuse tooling, right?
Yeah.
So many figures like Ace Duck and Vernon, like they use the same, not everything, but they use like maybe 40% of the same pieces, and then have custom sculpting for like the feet or whatever. But that's just really creative. I love how they do that, because for them it's like, hey, if we want this figure, how can we do it where 50% can be reused for another figure? But then also there's the one-offs that are like all complete, unique sculpting. But that's one thing, just talking with Trevor, it's like, man, that's awesome just to see how you think. And it's like, okay, in order for us to make this figure, we have to be able to reuse it like at least two times with other characters. So I think that's probably another reason why like the line is just like blown up and gone so deep too. So, and people keep buying it. So,
well, yeah, I mean, they got me on the hook. Trevor's been really cool about like sharing certain things, and he did a podcast with, I want to say, Speak Geeky, and went through and Speaky Geeky, and I think it's funny too. It's like he draws a line on certain characters too, where he's like, nope, we're not making those. So it's interesting to see what he doesn't want. So Deep Lake jumped in here with a great
have you done work for NECA in the past? Did they reach out to you, or did you submit your work to be considered? Kind of like what I mentioned before. It was kind of like just the right timing, and then knowing people who were there, and then they had a need that I could kind of help fulfill with some of the things. So it's kind of worked out. It was timing, and also just if you're creating, like I think a lot of it was that Usagi, just that personal exercise that I did, just coloring them and sharing that, because I was just excited about the figure. Like, I did not think, oh, this will get me on, working with, with them on the TMNT line. It was just, I love this. I can do this in Photoshop. I can do it really quick. Did it, posted it. A lot of people responded, and then it just kind of got picked up. And I think that's kind of just how it does. Like, I think it really comes down to, like, if you're just following your passion, if you're doing what you love, something will come of that. And it may not be you get to work on these specific lines or talk to these certain people, but something will come of it. Even if it's just you're building a community where you can just, just like with the toy community, how I can feel like, I feel like I know you guys. We've actually been in the same, place for like a week.
Right.
Like, it's pretty crazy how that's just all happened. And that's because we were here in the community. And then, John, you're like, hey, let's get together. Let's do a project.
I got this project. Yeah.
And so it's if you're following your passions, doing what you love, I think all these different opportunities will show themselves. And sometimes you're able to do it, sometimes not. But if you're not trying and you're not just putting stuff out there, then what is it? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, or something like that. So
right.
Michael Scott said that, right? I think that's
yeah. I think he said it better, though. Probably didn't
he said it better. Yeah. Somehow I managed. That's awesome, man. And I, between your design work, your photography work, is there something? And I mean, I know that you're doing photography techniques and stuff. Is there something that you want to try next that you haven't done, or something that, like,
that's a good
want to
question.
go down?
I mean, really doing these techniques is kind of my focus, and that's kind of the thing where I'm like, oh man, there's I've got a whole list of different things I want to try out. So that's kind of been my focus, and that's kind of taken most of my brain power. I mean, there's always things where I'm like, I've got tons of head sculpts that I want to paint. I want to build more dios, but just have to really focus, because otherwise you find yourself like for me, being kind of a creative mind, I know that I can do all these things, but I have to rein it in, because otherwise I end up, after a week, I'm like, I really haven't accomplished anything, or I've pushed all these things forward just a tiny bit and not feel like I made any progress. So, it's hard. It's a challenge, but with having these monthly techniques, it's like a goal that's like, okay, I know what I need to do. Here are the different ways I can do it. Check. And then I got a timeline. And if I pass the timeline, then, I've got a little bit, like a day or two, where I can feel like, all right, I can adjust. But, it helps me feel like I'm accomplishing things, and really the focus of moving forward to helping teach. And I just want to inspire other people to be creative and just, add more skills to their tool belt. So that's what drives me. But yeah, there's always things I want to do, man.
That's awesome.
I want to do like 3D sculpting. I mean, geez,
there's so many things out there.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people who just do it better. So I'm like, it's better if I just, hire somebody to do a sculpt of something or whatever. So,
right.
There's always the analogy of the bread aisle. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Bearded wants to know when you're going to do a bearded build NECA style figure. Seems to be a lot of requests in here for bearded people. D Blake thinks that Matchu and I already sound like Ninja Turtle characters. And we should be designed with messy faux hawk and beard. And the other one, I think Blake this is now the second week in a row where Blake has made a comment about my hair, and now calling your hair out as long, luxurious hair, and mine is just the messy faux hawk. It's always the guys, man, with the shiny heads that chicken on the hair. It's always that.
Well, but, that's why I continued to grow mine out, because I didn't want to lose mine.
Oh yeah.
So like Samson, if we cut your hair,
just have like this giant comb over,
lose all your power.
Like 2 feet long.
Just 2 feet long.
Yeah.
I got in my notes here. You want to give us a sneak peek, but I feel like you've given us so much already. I can't ask for anything else. One of the things I did want to ask you, and I think you kind of covered this, but maybe we could just talk a little bit more about it. Is how has your process changed over the years? I know that you kind of mentioned that you started with Digirama. Now you're trying the practical effects. I feel like you do kind of have this like mentality of like, and I think we even asked you this on the last stream with the Digirama, like, would you go back to try to redo a shot? And you're kind of like, no, like I've done that, like that feels done, So
Yeah.
what's kind of influenced the process since you've been, over the years?
It's a good question. I think it really is what is, just like with all of us, if we're doing something and it's repetitive, at a certain point, you're like, okay, I'm not getting as much fulfillment out of this. If it's the process or if it's, you just, I can take a figure and light it, make it look real, take a shot, call it good. But it's just over time, you're like, okay, because of the time that it takes to do this, like I want to make sure that I'm really getting the most fulfillment as like a creative outlet as I can. And so really just trying to, that's kind of why, I talked about the styles. My style is still me, but doing different approaches to how I shoot or shooting different things. Like at first it was like pretty much all Star Wars all the time. And so after a while being able to branch out like, oh, this is okay to do. And it's fun to just see how different parts of the community or the fandoms will respond to the work. I mean, because I built the audience at first was like all Star Wars followers. And when I started doing some Turtles or started doing Marvel, like it would hardly get like any traction. But I'm like, you know what? I still had fun doing it. And then slowly that started to build a little bit more. And then really just focusing on like, instead of just shooting for shooting's sake, what is something that I can do that makes my photos stand out? Or is there some kind of concept involved that makes it interesting or intriguing or tells a story? I just try to like keep doing that to keep it like fresh and keep me excited about it. But so who knows? I mean, maybe next year I'm going to go back to Digirama or maybe go outside and shoot. I don't really know at this point, but being able to just kind of dabble in like these different spaces and it's really fun, and that's what keeps it interesting. I do have to say, like, especially doing this more practical approach, I have huge respect and huge props for the Articulated Comic Book Art ACBA crew out there, because that takes a lot of thought and effort and intentionality with setting up your shots and figuring out how you're going to do things practically. So yeah, I haven't really done a whole lot of that. I've done some, but not a whole lot. And so this has given me a greater respect for that. Just knowing like what all goes into just like one technique, but again, it's inspiring, even though I'm not really in the ACBA community that much. I still see the work and I still like it, but just seeing it and kind of immersing yourself in different styles and things, like, man, this is really cool. So
all right, was gonna move on, but Steve actually had a really great question. So Steve gets the gold star for participation today. Maybe we'll send him something, Matt. We'll send him a little care package. But he's got a question. It says, earlier you mentioned saying on focus for a goal. What do you tell yourself to stay on pace for your goal and hold off on other things you want to do? I mean, that's something we've all battled with, and I think even Matt, you had a conversation about this. That sometimes that ADHD kicks in, and see. Squirrel.
Am I streaming?
Yeah.
Streaming?
Yeah. How do you do it, man? How do you?
Yeah, Steve, that's a great question. So for me, that was another thing this year at the beginning of the year. I'm like, I really need to start writing down my goals, because 2 years ago, I told myself, all right, I want to start teaching. I want to start doing, creating video content that shows different ways to do motion graphics or design or photography or whatever. And then 2 years later, I'm like, God, I haven't really done anything. And I realized it's because I haven't written anything down. I don't have a clear plan of attack. And so it's kind of going back to what I said earlier, like it's very disheartening when you feel like I really want to do this, but I'm not making progress. So at the beginning of the year, not necessarily a resolution, but I'm like, let me just try just with toy photography. Let me just try and see if I make it a monthly small goal of trying something new and then posting it each month. And then having like intentionality with, okay, I'm going to have the photo itself, the behind the scenes video that just shows, kind of walks through just really, in a minute, just show how it works, and then write up a big blog post on my website, and then offer a print and just see what happens. And so having that format for each month, I'm like, okay, those are relatively small goals. That means I can shoot maybe 2 photos a month, but I'm still creating a bunch of other BTS content that, for my larger goal, to Steve's point, everything that I'm doing is leading me towards wanting to create content that's teachable. So that's really my goal. My focus has changed. It's like, okay, is this going to get me closer to that? And that may be, teaching a Skillshare or having my own content or a Patreon type thing. I don't know yet, but the first step is like, let's just get this repetition. Let's get this pattern. Let's get comfortable with creating this content and doing it on a platform that I'm already on, and then see how it grows and see what people are attracted to. See how the workflow ends up, just how long it takes as well. So it's kind of been a test. And then because I made that goal within, a month to accomplish something, it's like, okay, I've done it once, I've done it twice. I can do this. It's not too much. And I'm checking so many boxes. So setting that goal to get me to the point where I want to be, 2 years from now, whatever that looks like, I know I'm making progress now, because I have kind of set those, kind of milestones, if you will. So,
well, whatever you end up doing, man, we're here for it. And you continue to inspire the hell out of all of us. Like I said, I wouldn't even, it's funny, like even just going back to the Pepper's Ghost, right? Like I never would have thought to try that in toy photography, right? Like I know the technique, I've learned the technique, I've used the technique and other things, but like, holy crap, yeah, take a picture of it, do it in toy photography. So it's really been awesome. And I love that you're, even the idea of, workmoreorless.com/learn, that's just like, that just brings a smile on my face. Like the masterclass is coming and we will all happily pay $59.99 for it. So, but not a penny more. So
not a penny more.
Not a penny more. But looks like it's just point. Should we? You want to look at some pictures from the week? What do we want to do?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
This is another thing I love. I love like when you guys do it, and then other shows will like go through and then show like the favorite photos from the week or whatever. Like I love it so much because it's one, a lot of things I end up seeing because I follow a lot of people. It's been part of the community for a while. But when you see new photos and new artists posting stuff that may be outside of my kind of, whatever's on the stream, whatever the algorithm is showing me, it's like, oh, cool. So let's follow. Let's see some more people and like just connecting with others. So I'm glad you guys are doing your favorite.
I appreciate that. It's oh good.
With that said, I have to say, Jshot, we got to talk to you about promoting the big accounts on these picks of the week. You gotta pick a little, the first one that I'm going to show right now is Sir Dork.
Yeah. Well, I picked it, but I was scrolling through it. I was gonna say that we try to like look outside of the algorithm sometimes. And pick the smaller accounts, but I mean, Sir Dork's got a small account now, right? Like he wasn't before, but he's a small account now.
I'll give you a pass on this one.
Yeah, but but that one was also kind of my like, maybe it's the honorary mention if it's been up already, we don't want to show it. That's fine. But just going back to what you're saying, Jason, like my thought was let's do this, right? Like there's so many people out there doing so many things with this. Like you mentioned, the algorithm is showing us whatever we want to see or however it wants to show us. But there's so many other photographers out there, Sir Dork aside, who are not getting seen. That's the wrong way, Matt. It can't hurt to highlight a few people, and and it's just been fun too, right? That's the other side of this, right? It's just keep having fun with this and looking at some of these shots. But yeah, here's Sir Dork again, setting things on fire. So.
He's man, I love how his mind works. Jared he's an awesome artist. It's great that he was able to kind of salvage his YouTube channel because man, that was really a bummer.
Yeah.
But hopefully I haven't actually looked at what his following is now on Instagram, but hopefully it's kind of starting to gain some traction. But the fact that he does so much of his stuff practical is just awesome. I think I remember one time he'd had a story or a reel or something that blew up literally because he was outside and like was using fire and like started a fire like in a bunch of leaves and like was like trying to put it out. So then like a bunch of people like were doing like toy community memes. But anyway, he's really, really talented. And I love how he does the practical shots and like some of the ones with like the Mountain Dew cans and all those things. Like it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we've dubbed him the most dangerous man in toy photography. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What else we got?
If I could find my mouse, give me 1 second.
You're always losing that mouse.
That Hyper Vader is good too.
Yeah.
Yes, it is really good. I have it. I did mention on the stream that the other problem I have is that both ankles have snapped inside.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's annoying.
Oh. I'll buy you some time too. It looks like Yoko has joined us. So hello, Yoko.
Hello,
and
Yoko.
so is Plessy. So what's up, man? What else? Oh, look. Okay, cool. Yeah, this one just, I don't know, came out of nowhere. I thought this was just beautiful, right? Like it's just it looks, there's movement to it. It looks like there's a page called like every frame is art, and where they like pull out every frame of painting, where they pull out art, pull out movie clips to just show you kind of that. And it reminded me of that, where it was just like, it literally looks like a still shot from a movie where it's so well lit and his motion is perfect here. It's just really, really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can see the wind, on his clothes. And not only does he have stuff in the, in the background that's out of focus, but he has stuff in the foreground that's out of focus too.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a really great pro tip. Like, just even if you can't really tell something in the foreground, it gives that extra sense of depth. I love the just the overall toning with this one. And then kind of like what I said, this shot has not popped up in my feed. And so seeing the new artist, and then also new like figures that are featured. Like I didn't know this existed, but man, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I guess it's like 112, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe.
I don't know if it is. It might be, but it is from 5K Toys.
So yeah. And I love the complementary colors, right? Like the greens are pulled out here and the browns. It's just really well done.
Yeah, that's nice.
So who is that? It's Toy Mirth, is it? Yeah.
Toy Mirth.
Toy Mirth.
Yeah, this looks like a 112 figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love those soft goods with the wire.
The wire.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat them.
It's a nice shot. Yes.
This I thought was great. I mean, obviously a lot of Batman news this week, but this one just I love the duality of this, right? And that's kind of what they've always been doing, but it looks, my brain is telling me that's an action figure, but it looks so real. Like it's just well done. And the way that the Joker's in shadow, and it even looks like it doesn't have, he doesn't have the white on his face. The white paint kind of style, but it's just, I don't know.
I think you get enough of the teeth and the eyes.
Yeah,
you immediately know what it is. I think the other cool thing about this is it'd be easy to take them and put them back to back and just do like a straight on. But the fact this is kind of turned it a 3/4, it just gives that much more depth and interest too. And then obviously the black and the purple against each other, and the yellow and green.
And
it's nice.
He also has Batman is all black here, but he has it lit so that way he stands out from the black background.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to do.
Really good shot.
Who's the
JCS Figure Photography.
There you go.
Nice shot.
Perfect. There you go. Give it a like. And
another Batman.
Another Batman, a big Batman noise. This one's
not very good.
Yeah, it's not very good.
No. I'm just kidding, Kev.
Yeah, it's from a small Instagram account. I thought this is great. Like it's just, again, another one of those shots that are simple, but simple but not easy type of thing. You know, I mean, look at even the glistening off the eye, right? Like getting into the detail there.
Yeah.
Like being able to see that is unbelievable.
Man, do you guys see the? I mean, obviously you saw, but the Hot Toys release with the Batmobile and
Batmobile?
Keaton, yeah,
and
the '89 Batman.
Do I buy it? Do I do it?
I don't like that I mean, the Batmobile at $800.
I'm putting that Batmobile in my garage.
You have to.
It's going. My car is just sitting in the driveway.
At $800 price point, you'd have to put it in the garage, but
yeah,
just make the garage the Batcave. What I'm
pretty
saying.
much. Just like put all this carved foam on the sides, and some stalactites and stalagmites. Yeah.
And then like when there's cons in New York, invite people over.
Invite people to the Batcave. So.
Exactly. That's great. I mean, that's what's so cool about the 1/6 like Hot Toys figures, especially this one. The detail and the fact that you can push in that tight and it looks realistic. I mean,
you get all the imperfections on his jaw, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could see like the pores and like the texture of the suit. And also, I just want to point out, this is a great way to promote that Grumps is going to be on your show.
Yeah,
it is.
This really caught my attention when I saw it.
Yep.
Good job, Kev. Good job.
Yeah, that's cool.
I
don't think I can't pull the trigger on the Hot Toys Keaton. I mean, it looks awesome, but also the suit looks like it's kind of limited with articulation, kind of like the Spider-Mans that they produce. I'm waiting for the '89 Mezco. Oh my gosh! So
it's almost like they have to respond at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like you have to say something. You know, I mean, between the trailer and now Hot Toys, like you got to do something. Like even if it's not happening, just
I know, right?
Just do something.
So if I get that and it's really good, then I'll be like, okay, that's good. I don't need the Hot Toys version, because if I get the Hot Toys version, I'm gonna really want to get the Batmobile. I don't have a spot for that in my garage. So yeah, great portrait, Kev. Looks nice.
Good job, Kev. Oh yeah, this one.
This was one of my picks that I chose.
This is so good.
This is a Paul's photography.
This is another. This is a Digirama, right? Because I think when he does the background, he shows it. But I mean, just like.
No, that's in his garage. He has the whole set in his garage.
Yeah.
Actually, on Coruscant, believe it or not. Yeah.
Did a quick trip over to Coruscant, but I mean, this shot, especially after coming off of Bad Batch last week, like it was unbelievable. And God, I don't even know
so what?
Yeah,
that's not the Black Series head.
I think if you keep scrolling, I think he did Photoshop a little bit,
like just the
face
and the
yeah. I think just to punch it up.
I wish my figure looked like that.
He had me fooled.
Oh.
And then also just the little pod, 3D printed.
Yeah. Yes, 3D printed pod.
So cool.
It's really well done. And another one where it's just like it's hitting
Masameda in the back,
hitting the eyes there.
Yeah, the fact that the eyes are lit up.
Golly, that looks real.
Yeah,
that's nice.
So good. And then,
nice work. Ooh,
Toys of Photography. I have to show a little Mythic Legions love.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
man, I love this line so much, but I cannot do it because I know that I would go crazy with it because everything just looks so good. Yeah.
Totally understand. So what I like about this is like group shots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that it is harder to do group shots because you have to make sure that everybody's lit. Right? You gotta, because like the people in the back have to be lit, the people on the sides, the people on the front, and the person in the middle has to be lit too. So you really have to think of how you're going to do this.
Yeah, just also, the composition and like staging, like depending on where your camera is, and like Trevor 16 Shooter, on some of his videos, he kind of walks through on his website, or actually YouTube channel, walks through like some of his setups and some of them with Mythic Legions, and talking about like, okay, I had to raise this guy up on like this little piece of cardboard, so he his head is just peeking out between these two, yeah, or whatever. It's that takes so much time, and then inevitably, boop, they all fall down. So yeah, props to anybody doing group shots.
Bump the table.
Yeah.
And that was something. There was another stream a couple of weeks ago, I think, that we were talking about. Like, somebody was frustrated that their figures are always falling, and it's one of those things where, like, once you come to terms with this happens to everybody, you feel better about it. Like, it always happens. Everything always falls. But I do love how the axe is kind of pointed towards the front of the camera. Yeah, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where you're just getting a little bit of a little bit of effect. Said something in the front of the camera to kind of help just
foreground
sell the idea. Yeah, foreground. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Cool.
Do
you want to look at since I didn't have anything prepared? Do you want to look at the guides that I created?
Yes, I do.
Both
let's
of those.
Do it.
We don't have to like stop in each one, but I want everybody to see like what other people are doing, because that's when I built the guides on my page. Like, you can go look at my stories, or sorry, my posts and my reels, and then there's a guide where I think it's basically like if you go to a city or whatever, you're like, hey, all these people like this restaurant, and so you take a photo from this person's account and you compile it into a guide. Then that's basically, I think, the function of that.
It was really it was really cool that you did that. Now, did you do, like, is that done through Instagram, or is that you do that separately? Oh, that's awesome.
So I was actually thinking about doing
on the
that.
count, right?
Yeah, I can see it here. I was actually thinking about doing that for when we do like the picks of the week, is putting a guide so that way we can showcase the people that we show on the stream.
That's cool. Yeah,
so that's an idea inspired by Jason. So just want to give Jason credit.
We should also we should share them on our stories too. That's why that they get the credit there. But
it's just a great way to put everything, like, it made sense. Like, I was like, what do I need a guide for, and why is this thing here? So then when I started looking at it, I was like, oh, so the actual functionality of it, if I do this, then I can feature everybody who's using the technique, and then have their photos there, and they're all compiled together. I'm like, oh, that works great. So
that's really cool.
Yeah,
and you're also helping out those those accounts. Well, I mean,
also just
you don't really help out Richie. Richie's got a huge following.
Right. All right. I just love that this is Pepper's ghost. Pepper's ghost seeing Pepper seeing ghosts. Yeah.
Love that. It's brilliant.
I think Richie is one of the first ones that I've seen him use that technique.
He did this a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And then a lot of
that is cool.
Alan Rappa and also Adam Burke. They do like challenges for each other, and they've done some of this, like the Pepper's Ghost before. And so it was nice when I posted that. They're like, hey, we did this. And so I was able to kind of go through their stuff and share it. This one's hilarious.
I love the
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I love the go back the buzz, the ANDY. I think that's great as that and those little Easter eggs in there. That's awesome.
Great. Yeah, nice little details. And then, of course, if anybody who goes to check out the guide, you can click on each image and it'll open up. It'll go to their page, so you can actually go see their account and see all the other work that they do and all that. So that's a nice way to like link back to people too.
Yeah.
So yeah, those guys have several in the Pepper's Ghost. And you can kind of just scroll down kind of quickly. There's some really cool. I mean, a lot of these guys you are familiar with. Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's like the technique can be something very simple, and then you can also do something really complex, even if it's just like reflecting lights and things, or trying to bring in a person. Like that one's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Or an actual specter, a ghost.
Look at that. Yeah.
Little Slimer.
Slimer's ghost.
Yeah. It's just cool, man. It's such a cool technique.
That's really cool.
I think there's only a couple more, but
that's great.
Right? Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah, that's really great.
Another
this
Ronin,
one too.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like how that's in color too, versus like how I did just blue, like apparitions. That's nice. Constantine,
Dead Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one was good. I really love that one.
It's really nice. And of course, that Joker.
Yeah.
Guy totally biting off of this guy's posts.
Yeah.
Really good shot, though.
Oh.
Thanks, man.
And you used the iPad for that, right? Like that was just a reflection. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
yeah, you don't have to use a figure.
Easy.
You can use graphical assets.
Yeah. Just like that little square. It's it's so cool. It's really powerful.
Yeah.
Really powerful. So, and then also once we get through these, if we want to run through, I think there's about 7 or 8 in the other one showing. Yeah.
The bokeh already? That's cool.
Yeah. There's a few bokeh ones. I kind of went backwards since it's just was, I just released that a couple days ago, but I found some people who are already using it and you want to go ahead and time.
You mean I don't have to buy the Ghost of Splinter figure?
Yeah, I guess you can make your own Ghost of Splinter figure and save $300.
Yep, that's a great shot by Raph. Yeah, so many. It's what's cool is that everybody's gonna approach it a little bit differently. If it's gonna be like a hologram or a ghost or even just something really simple like an overlay, you could do ACBA.
I know this guy
kind of in this way. Yeah, Toy Father. That's right. They did that one live, by the way. You can go check out their
that's right.
live shoot of that.
This is cool.
I really like the hologram techniques.
Me too.
Hologram's cool, yeah.
Yeah. All kinds of great stuff. So the community it's just fun to be able to bring this to light, and then people like, oh, I could do this, or I could do this. So that's what's inspiring for me too, just to see what people do and what they run with.
I have an idea of a use for Pepper's Ghost that I want to
do it.
Talk to you about after stream.
Do it. Right.
Speaking of the Emperor, it's like, do you want to click on the
click on that
one there? See
which one?
See who's up there. The bokeh.
The one that you're hovering over.
Didn't I?
No. Oh, it didn't go through.
I was like, are you going to click on it?
Yeah. It's like, click on it.
What's going on here? Yeah. I don't know. It's not showing.
It's not showing? All right, let me reset. Hold on.
Okay, hold on.
Why does it always do this?
Kill some time.
What about you guys? Actually, I'm going to go live just on Instagram tomorrow. And I'm going to go with Spencer Switpix and Nose Rain. And we're actually going to talk about goals. Like that's going to be our focus. We're just like, it's been a long time since we've actually chatted. Of course, we choose Thursday. Sorry about everybody. We'll probably have like 3 people log in or jump on. But we're going to talk about just goals and like, are they important? I mean, I kind of talked a little bit about them with you guys, but want to see what other people think too. So we're going to put out a story tonight. I'll put out a story and just see if anybody wants to chime in and see what other people are doing this year, if they have goals or if they matter or if they like using them or not. So anyway,
super smart. Yeah.
You guys see it now?
Cool.
Yeah, we got it now.
So like I said, the first time I saw these, it was with hearts. Right. And so I was really just like, what else can we do? We make it more,
So the Mickey
detail.
The Mickey thing is crazy because I remember like way back when they used to hand out glasses, like little 3D glasses that you put on. Yeah. And when you're watching the fireworks would actually have the Mickey shape to it. So I'm not sure how that works. They're like, so that's what I'm curious about, like how the, actually, like I feel like I almost had him like over. I do. Crazy. Swear to God, this was not set up. But like, yeah,
you do have them.
Like they, they're just like these glasses like this, and then the way that the light reflects. Like I'm looking at the lights on the side now. They have the Mickey shape.
Oh, wow.
So it's crazy. I wish I don't know how to. Yeah.
Just leave them on.
Yeah, so that's immediately what I thought of when you showed that. I don't know how it works. I don't know if
you could have just put that in front of your lens.
Does it?
You need the
I gotta find a light. Hang on. I don't think this is gonna.
This would be crazy if it actually works.
Move it closer to the lens. No, move your arm back.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nope.
Keep going. Let's see. Nope, that's facing the other way.
All right.
No.
It looks cool though. You get like a nice starburst effect.
Yeah. We tried. Yeah, that's I don't know why. That's immediately what I thought of. So it's funny to see that picture with the Mickeys there.
Yeah, that one's nice. Yeah, keep scrolling. I think there's only a few more, but yeah, some of these were just old that I think I used the hashtag Boca or custom Boca or something, and these came up.
But you know what? We've probably seen these before. Didn't even realize it.
Didn't realize it. Yeah, just assumed they were digital. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's awesome.
So clean.
That Lego one is so cool.
Yeah. That's the Harley one. Look at that.
That was nice too.
Mm-hmm.
Dead payphone. And then this one. So Alan, he sent this to me. You can kind of see he's like, this didn't really work like he thought it would because I think the lights are too close. But if you look in the back, like kind of the top left corner, you can see that they're kind of in the heart shape, like the orange one.
Yeah. You can see the orange one, the blue one.
The blue one, like right there. Yeah.
So if they're further back and a little smaller, then I think you get.
Well, why is I'm wondering what's giving this effect of it like you see the background, it's kind of like there's a little bit of motion in there. Like lines. I wonder what's giving that effect.
Like runoff almost.
I'm not sure exactly.
I wonder if it's the reflection off of the figure. Oh, that's awesome. Great. Sure. That's awesome. I love it. So good.
Yeah.
The expressions you can get on that figure are amazing.
And this one's just beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, as soon as I see more people like send me DMs where they've tried it and used it, and I just keep adding them to these. So hopefully it'll continue to grow the more and more people try it. So cool. Yeah, it's fun. I've really been enjoying it. And like I said, I've had a lot of just personal fulfillment, but then just connecting with people and people trying it. And like, that's really what gets me excited and wants me to just keep doing it, keep trying and teaching people and just showing what I've discovered. So yeah, lots of cool techniques coming up. I think some of them, like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. So I'm like pushing those back like later on the year, but
that's got to be the exciting part though, right? Like some of them where you're just like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we got to figure it out. Right. Like it's,
so for that bokeh technique, a lens with a very shallow depth of field is going to be good for that. My sister and my brother-in-law just got me a new lens for my camera to test out, which I'm actually using on this camera. Nice. But it goes to 0.95.
Wow.
For the aperture.
Dang.
Like you got like I should have tried it out for this camera because you could kind of see the bokeh in the background.
Yeah.
And that's not even at 0.95. I think it's.
I mean, you could demonstrate this live. I mean, if you have everything like set up and everything, you can easily show it. You could.
Well, that's why you have to have you back for episode 13.
Yeah, so you can see the bokeh back there.
Yeah.
So if you had something over the lens, it would actually do it.
Yeah. I was even thinking like I know that you cut it out by hand, but I wonder like if you use something like a Cricut.
Correct. Yep.
Right. Like you could get like even more crazy detail there.
Absolutely.
Be interesting to try that.
Mm-hmm. So. That's ultimately what I thought would be really cool to do, but like I'm not going to buy a Cricut just for that. And I don't have one. I mean, maybe it'd be a good reason to get one, but
we've spent more on less. That's what we always,
That's true. I was going to ask Matt. Yeah. So you were going into the year, and your thing was spend less, make more, spend less. How's that been going for you?
So I was painting turtles.
Yes.
And last week I was on like 3 lives, and each day it felt like I was destroying one and then the next one. So I was just like, I fixed them, but they're in the next room safely.
Yeah.
So that way I could finish doing the touch-ups.
Yeah.
And then bring them to their proper home.
Nice.
That I know. I gotta make room for them
that way.
So.
Cool. They look so good, man. I love them. You really are a talented artist in many respects, and like just seeing like how you've because that takes a lot of effort and time and patience for that.
I try to be like you. Try to be like you.
I spend way too much time on stuff. It's stupid.
Exactly. That's why I try. But
it's fun though, right?
It is. It is really fun. That's why I try to get John onto doing like, why don't you try doing like a diorama? And he did the bricks.
Yeah, that brick wall looks great, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It looks awesome. You should be really proud of that.
Yeah. I am actually really proud. I will say, doing the black wash today was a little nerve wracking because like all the white goes away, and you're like, oh my god, and then it's like it registers like, oh yeah, they're not supposed to be. Like it's not supposed to look that clean. But I also
you can see like the part right where your hand is.
Yeah,
it looks like that didn't get much wash. And
right,
so
but I love that. Yeah.
But
I love it. I love that like certain parts didn't get the wash. So I'm still not, like I said, I'm still not in love with the concrete base here, but I'm really happy with how this came out.
And then I passed on a technique that I got from you when I was making my brick wall, Jason. You were like, why don't you push some bricks in?
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't done that yet. That still scares me a little bit. I have to do that. So
man, as soon as you start doing it,
it all scares me.
It adds more. It gives more opportunity for shadow in like depth when you put a light over it, like especially over top. It gives it that much more texture and dimension. So I promise you, do it. It's pretty amazing. So.
I did also why I had the black wash out. I did throw it onto crates we got from Henrock. So just I was like, all right, if I'm gonna try it, I might as well go all in on it. So there's always just that fear of ruining it. But
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So,
like somebody said it to me before. Battle damaged.
Battle damaged. That's it. That was said on the stream. Yeah, it all looks battle damaged.
I mean, that's really, if you think about it, with Star Wars. What made that feel so realistic at the time was that the models were all beat up and they had all like these oil stains on the ships and like that made it feel like you were part of this real world. Not everything was polished and clean, and so like just having that gives it a level of realism and makes you believe. Like it also helps with a sense of scale too. So yeah. I wish I had more time to do dios and 3D print stuff and model things.
Sometimes I wish we could, we can just. What was that movie? Multiplicity.
Oh yeah.
With
Michael Keaton.
Bringing up more Michael Keaton. Yeah.
Make a new one.
I love that. Sometimes when you make a copy of a copy and it doesn't turn out so great. Yeah. Awesome, man. I don't know. Is there anything else? Anything? Just over there doing a pose sesh. Anything else we want to go around the room one last time, and we'll get through some shout outs. I know you mentioned you got your show tomorrow. You're going to be doing
just a quick live stream. Yeah, we probably won't spend a whole lot of time, but like I said, we want to it's been so long since like specifically myself, Spencer, Richie, and then Zay and Jax. We would like go to SDCC a lot and pal around. And so we like talk all the time, but it's been a while since I've actually been on like a live stream and chatted about stuff. So we're like, hey, let's start that up. So
what time would that be?
I think we're doing that tomorrow at 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
10 Eastern.
Okay. Yeah. So 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
All right.
So any shows, any conventions coming up? Any plans to travel anywhere this year?
Man, I have SDCC tickets. Like as a pro, I got free tickets, but it's really difficult because my son's swimming state that same time, so I want to be there for that. So I probably won't end up going to Comic-Con, but I don't know. I'd like to. It's just just time and money and setting things aside. So I'd love to, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, but.
Oddly enough, if you don't go to San Diego, there are two people who I know that are going to San Diego and don't have tickets. So
yeah, you might actually save us a trip of going to Home Depot and getting a ladder.
Right? Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but yeah, if you do end up coming out, we're gonna grab an Airbnb and stuff. So we can help share that cost. So
that's good to know. Yeah,
we take turns going into Comic-Con.
Right, take turns. Yeah, everybody goes in once. So.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to do something this year, but I'm not sure exactly what it will be. But if anything, it's always fun to watch and live vicariously through the community.
No.
So.
Matchu and I will be at ZoloCon next weekend, right? I can't believe that's coming up so fast already. We'll be there Saturday and Sunday. And then with March approaching, I know that there'll be a usual weekly monthly toy show that we'll be heading to as well. So definitely want to go through a couple of shout outs. Obviously Jason, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man.
Bearded, thanks for jumping on with this. This is amazing.
That's
so
beautiful.
Awesome.
So talented.
So good. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, dude.
And happy birthday.
Yeah.
It's on Friday.
It's on Friday.
I know. But happy early birthday.
Yeah.
Since we're going all around.
Figured we'd do it live. I do want to shout out a couple people, a couple of other shows that are happening, and we've got our calendar up. So if you're around Mondays, you're going to check out Boba Squadron, Toy Talk, the Figure Booth, and Legion's Lounge. Tuesdays are always Chat Migos Assembles and Unparalleled Universe. Wednesday, you have us. You have TPC and the Toy Daddies, Customs by Matchu, and Fallen Fett Chronicles. Thursday, we've got Toying Around and Unboxing Thursdays. So tomorrow with Bat Force Grumps. Then there's also They're Not Dolls and Sir Dork sometimes. He says on Thursdays, and then Friday back around with Unparalleled Universe and Infinity Equation, and then on Sunday you've got Yimbo Reviews Everything, Lazy Boy Sundays, and the Infinity Creators now with Dante, D Blake, and Detour. So
is that a weekly
shows?
Oh, is it not weekly?
I don't know. I'm asking because it's like some shows are moving to bi-weekly. Like, I think Figure Booth is bi-weekly now.
Figure Booth's bi-weekly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And because Figure Booth, I know Figure Booth moving bi-weekly. And there's another show too that Trevor does where he breaks down a bunch of shots and stuff too. So
on Tuesdays, it's like I think it's Maz's Toy Box.
Maz's Toy Box, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add that. Oh, that's only monthly though. Toy Chase is saying. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
So much good content. You guys everybody's is awesome, and so glad we have this community and we're able to connect and chat and like just build one another up and support one another. It's I love it.
Totally grateful for this community and just giving us the reason to keep doing these shows. And
absolutely.
Otherwise, it's just the three of us hanging out on a live, which I guess isn't a bad thing. But at least we could share some of these things and inspiration and hopefully inspire a few people. But
definitely.
That's it. I think I'm supposed to say make sure you like, subscribe, and share. This way we can keep going. But for sure, Jason, thank you again for showing up, man, and thank you for sticking with us on episode 1, where things were rough. I think I was sick and cameras were weird, but
it was good.
I'm so glad we got to have you back.
And like I told you, I will come on to the show anytime you want, or if you want me to stay away, I'll stay away. Whatever.
Don't tempt me, man. We'll just drop you. We'll just drop you that link every week. So
nice.
We could.
I appreciate you guys.
Grateful. Matt, anything else you want to say?
Thank you guys, dude. This was awesome. Thank you.
Jason, last
Can't wait
words.
to see that hung up. No, just keep having fun, and thanks for all you guys do with the community. And I'm really enjoying the show. And let's just keep going. Let's keep moving forward.
That's it. Keep moving forward, and make sure you check out WorkMoreOrLess /learn. That's gonna be my new favorite bookmark. And go buy some prints because they are awesome. They are really awesome. So loving these. But that's it. Nothing left to do. Cool. Play the intro, Master.
The outro? Got it.
The outro.
Got it.
Get it. What are you still doing here? Go home. It's late. We started late. Go to bed. Everybody go to bed. What are you doing?
Venom.
Yeah, Venom. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. We are tired now. Go to bed.